Welcome back everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. So today I thought I'd have a bit of a go at doing a bit of maintenance on my Pseudocreobacter warburgi, my spiny flower mantis. I do this probably once a month. I just go around, swap out the soil, just give everything a bit of a wipe down the sides, because the sides of your tubs, they start to get water marks on and visibility starts to get difficult, and I'd just like to just freshen it up in there. So this is just going to be a quick demonstration of what I do. All of my mantis that I keep in this way as youngsters. I'm not saying that you keep all mantises in this way, because I've not kept them all, but the majority I'm pretty sure will live in something like this. So here is the mantis that lives in this enclosure. I don't know if you can see him all right there. Yep, so I've just taken him out already. I've taken out all of the old substrate and just given it a bit of a clean down, just with water though. That's all I've used on this, just plain water. I think next time when I actually do it, I will... Denzel, back in. I think the next time I do this, I will probably clear out the tub, because it's starting to get a bit scratched on the sides now, and you can't... It is starting to affect the visibility, but it'll be alright for this one. So, first things first is soil. So we want something that's going to retain a bit of moisture in there, because the mantis actually do really need the moisture. Not so much the spiny flower mantis. Its water requirements aren't quite as high as some of the mantids, but I give all of my mantids the same soil mix, which is a mix of 2 parts cocoa fibre, 2 parts topsoil, and 1 part sphagnum moss. The sphagnum moss is just there to retain some of the moisture. You could use vermiculite, but I prefer to use sphagnum moss. It looks a bit nicer in the soil. So you want you don't want a really thick layer on the bottom, but you do want a fair bit. I made the mistake when I first started keeping these of only putting in quite a thin layer on the bottom. What that meant was that the soil was drying out really quick. I was having to wet all the soil down, probably almost daily. So yeah, I think that'll be enough in there for now. And then you just want a little plant in there, something in there for him to climb on a stick. I wouldn't overcrowd it, because they need quite a bit of room when it comes to them shedding. So you need a stick for them to climb on. A lot of the time, some of them will actually shed from these sticks. The majority of mine will actually just shed from the roof, but you need to make sure, like I said, they've got plenty of room to molt in there. All I do is just put this back in there, like so. Make sure it's all stood up like that. And then what I do is I will give it a spray down, fine mist, but I'll make sure that I get quite a bit on the soil as well. At the moment this soil's not actually dry, but I would like it to be a little bit wetter than it is. But when it comes to I'll spray down the sides and the substrate. I'll probably spray that down every other day. So that's fine, that's in there. Yep, and this is the way I keep them, and they all seem to be thriving. So let's get this one back into its enclosure. Oh, see if I can get a bit more of a shot of him for you. I don't know if you can see him okay. These ones, the spiny flower mantis, he's not as jumpy as some of the others. Like I've found my orchid mantis is very skittish, so I wouldn't be like this with my orchid mantis, because it would end up on the floor. He does run. Sorry, the dog's playing with his ball in the background again. Yeah, so that's him back in there. Feeding wise, I feed these at this size. I will feed them probably 2 second or third instar crickets a day. It's best to, with these, just to check their abdomen. When their abdomen looks full, they don't need any more. When it looks thin, they need feeding again. You don't want to overfeed these, because they are very voracious with their eating. But yeah, they're really simple to keep. I keep mine at room temperature. Yeah, just normal room temperature, and they're doing fine. They're shedding well. They're putting on good size. Yeah, they're doing really well. Is there anything else I need? No, I think that is about everything. The only thing with these tubs is you do need to be careful when taking the lid off and putting the lid back on. Because I do find sometimes that when they go back in, I haven't done this, but I've always made sure I've not caught the legs on the inside, but you also need to make sure when you take the lids off that they're not on the underside of the lid, and you end up putting the lid down on top of them. So if you go back in there, mate, or not, go on, there we go. So now, yeah, he's back in there. This lid has got plenty, I'll show you actually, there's plenty of ventilation in this lid. Here, it's got one of the little paper fabric sticky bits on it. Plenty of holes in the top for good ventilation in there. These flower mantis, well, most mantids would only live for about a year, which is good in some ways, bad in others. If you get attached to your, really attached to your animals, it's going to be bad, but I like the fact that you get to see the whole of the mantid's life in quite a short amount of time. I am going to look at breeding the mantids. Seems like quite a fun project, so I'm going to have a go at breeding them. So yeah, I'm going to feed this one now, and I'll put a bit of a feeding video on at the end. But thank you for watching, everyone. If you've liked it, please hit a like. If you've not liked it, hit a dislike. Any comments, share, subscribe, it would really help. Thank you very much, and have a really good day. Thank you.